Hello everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly swing trade ideas video where we bring you stocks based on specific technical price patterns. We're going to discuss those price patterns in just a moment. As always, these videos are sponsored by our partners over at Investors Business Daily. We curate ideas based on their stock lists. You can get access to their stock lists with a link in the description of this video. So here's how the format works for these videos. We've got dozens of pre-built stock scans and screeners that we've built over the years, and we're going to pick from a few of them and show you the results. We're going to walk through what the scan is looking for and then take a look at the companies that meet those conditions based on today's price action. And we do have a link here if you want to learn more about any of the scans in this video. A lot of them, or all of them, are available for download on our website. And as a reminder, the universe of stocks we are scanning against are the IBD stock lists. So that includes things like their IPO list, the IBD 50, their sector leader lists, and a couple of others. And also our TR150 watch list, which is a similar sort of quality leader growth type of stock universe. So let's kick it off with a really simple scan, which is our 52-week highs on volume. So this is always a list and a scan that lots of people like to track. These are stocks that are breaking to new one-year highs, and they're doing it on heavy volume. So ADSK is actually an interesting one here because it is pretty actionably, resolving this range that it has been in for about 3 months or so. So basically, this is kind of the hallmark classic technical breakout pattern. You've got the sideways consolidation just under all-time highs, and then you finally get that breakout on heavy volume. Technically, you kind of had that breakout occurring yesterday, and today would almost be read as more of a follow-through day to new all-time highs. If we zoom out, you can see we're in a strong long-term uptrend. So ADSK very much in motion, breaking out, trend is good, and is certainly heading up and to the right. So that is our 52-week high on volume scan. Let's look at our fresh breakout scan. So two stocks meet those criteria today. CHD. So Church & Dwight is the company, and you can see we've got, again, a nice tight range that developed here over the past about month, basically all of August, and you're getting the breakout of that range, the resolve of that range today. And that's what this scan looks for. It needs a minimum of about a 10-day cluster of tight consolidation, but as long as you've got at least 10 days there, this scan is interested. It's looking for those breakouts. So for you momentum breakout traders here, this is a pretty actionable one, and this is trading at all-time highs. Number 2 from this list here is DXCM. Now this one here isn't quite breaking out above all of the consolidation, but that's what this scan is looking for, is again at least a 10-day minimum. And what it's identifying here is this breakout of this tighter consolidation here. So you've got kind of that downtrend line. You've certainly got this flat resistance that's been in place over the past 6 or so days. You've got an increase in volume today. So again, we're recording this intraday, and it's already running at about 140% volume. So a nice breakout of a tight range, trading just under its all-time highs. This one here also looks good for breakout momentum. Some people might like that follow-through day to see if it convincingly can get through that pivot high here as well. To each their own on how you prefer to trade them. So those are some breakout momentum setups. Let's look at kind of the other side of the coin. Let's look at some reversals or some more beaten up names. And this is a scan all the way at the bottom of the list here. Two stocks meet it. Stocks that are reclaiming their 200 period simple moving average. So we're going to switch over to this. We've got the 200 SMA, which is the yellow line here, and we're going to look at MRCY. And you can see MRCY has basically been below the 200 SMA. It's been kind of oscillating around it. The 200 SMA is pretty flat right here, and the 50 SMA is actually right in the same area. So basically you've got this consolidation, and we're getting a close, the first close back over the 200 SMA in at least 5 or 10 days time, and you're seeing that basically today. I'm not sure that I find this super actionable as it is right now, but this is a popular scan that I know a lot of people like to keep eyes on the 200 period simple moving average, and this is one name that's hitting it. Another name that is coming across this scan is ACLS. This one might be a little more interesting, a little more of an upward slope there in the 200 SMA. The 50 is above the 200, and you can see it recently sold off below the 200 period, and now it is breaking back above it with a little bit of an expansion in range. So again, just a different type of a scan here, reclaiming a highly watched long-term moving average. Two stocks hitting that today. Our last scan here on the bullish side is going to be with our trend filters. So our trend filters are a price and volume based indicator. They measure trend and urgency behind a trend, or magnitude of the move, as we like to usually say. And one of the stocks transitioning today from our yellow and a prior bear trend up into a buy signal is AAXN. So let's jump back to the chart here and take a look at this particular name. You can see it's been in a mostly up, longer term uptrend here. It's kind of went sideways for quite a bit of time in 2018 and 19, but it recently, it made new highs here in June. It pulled back, and now it's starting to lift back here. And the reason this is being identified is because we're getting that transition up back into a bullish state with our trend filter. So AAXN got a deeper kind of pullback, starting to work back to the upside. Keep an eye on it with that transition. Now, I do want to talk about a couple of bearish ideas, and I do want to sort of throw the disclaimer out here. We're going to be looking at negative divergences. Again, we talked about some negative divergences in our last video. And I want to say, with all of these divergence types trades, they are, lots of them, and especially the ones here, can be counter trend. I basically, kind of like to say that these are more advanced trades. You have to be an experienced trader. You need to know how to manage risk because you are betting against the prevailing trend. You don't have to. You can find divergences and downtrends, which is what I would prefer, but they're harder to find. So when you have stocks that are grinding higher and you see those negative divergences, you just have to be careful. You have to be experienced. You have to be nimble, and caution sort of advised. So please do your homework. COST, here's one that is showing up on our bearish divergence scan here. So again, if we look at just the price chart, you can see it's ripping in a very strong uptrend, but we're getting go back here, we're getting these these hits here of negative divergence on the way up. So again, I'll leave it at that. I think you guys can kind of see what's going on here in terms of momentum, disagreeing with the price movement that's happening here. It doesn't mean it has to stop today, tomorrow, or on Friday. It can continue. Divergences can continue. So it's something to be aware of. Eventually, they usually matter at some point, but you have to be able to manage the trade and get your timing down. Number 2 in this list is ALGN. So again, here you can see back up towards the top end of this range and printing some divergence. It did it a couple of weeks ago. It pulled back. It did it about a month ago, and it led to a pullback. It did it a little over a month ago. It led to a pullback. It won't always work, but it is something to pay attention to here as it moves to the upside, printing some divergence. And last but not least is OKTA, kind of a similar name here. Again, longer term uptrend, so you're betting against that prevailing trend, but it's at the top of the range, printing some divergence. Last time it did it, led to a pullback. Prior time led to a pullback, but you also had some other moves in here, which mostly led to a pullback or some consolidation. So those are the 3 names I'll give you there on the short side for ideas in this week's video. So lots of different looks there. We got breakouts, momentums, reversal, we got divergences, we've got trend changes. So hopefully we hit on lots of different setups. Again, do your homework, make sure all of these names fit what you're looking for and make sense to you. So that's what I got for this week's video. Thanks so much as always for tuning in. Every Wednesday we do some different trade ideas just like this. So if you like the videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel or stay up to date on our website at thetraderisk.com. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back here on Friday for the weekly market recap.